Hi, good morning, Mark. This is Chief Pussy Labs weekly update. Um, March 6th, March 7th for you. How you doing today, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing okay, fine, and you?
Doing good. I'm getting a little bit of a. Is it because I have something open? Getting a little bit of a reverb here. Wait, I'm good now. I'm good now. Good. All right, awesome. So this is week 5, I guess, of the CTO. I think, or when you took over. I probably should have made like a list of things to talk about, but I didn't really do that yet. But we're getting better at this. At least the stream is really good now. It's really good quality. Um, so I guess I'll just start with there were some new deployables and stuff that you put out this week, right? Some new utilities and stuff for the website and all that. And what do you want to talk? What do you want to talk about? What's new with you? How are you had some stuff going on IRL, moving back and forth and everything, and now you're back home. So things more settled for you now.
Yeah, things are doing a little bit better. Since last time, basically last time I ended with the post to the Bitcoin community about Mongox Bitcoins.
Right. Yeah, that we left off last week with the stream was your
Yeah,
proposal to unlock 80,000 Bitcoin.
so yeah, this proposal has seen a little bit of reactions.
Yeah, a little bit. You got a lot of news sources posted about it. Decrypt, the Block, all the heavy hitters out there. They wrote stories about your proposal, so it's interesting. So that was very very fun. It's very fun to see that your ex post go get 70 or 100,000 views, and then every major crypto network is news source is putting up stories about it. So what are your thoughts on how the whole thing of that shook out? Like what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I was expecting things to be a bit difficult anyway because uh, that goes against a lot of things that Bitcoin was made with.
Right, it goes against the
Sometimes,
decentralization and things like that, right?
yeah, I mean, one thing I've seen is a lot of people rejecting the idea, don't fully understand why this is not a good idea. And I think that that's interesting in itself. Oh, there's some work to be done there, I think, to analyze this and then to see how to move forward with that.
No, I'd imagine so. And the thing that I found interesting about that is that we talked on spaces and stuff as well. I'm sure that they don't have as much technical grasp of it as you do. I'm sure. And hey, George is in here now. I'll say hello to George in a minute. What I found interesting is that you said that most people probably think it's quite unlikely those tokens well, coins. They're coins, not tokens. Those Bitcoin will ever move. And you said that it's quite plausible in the future when they one day might move. Is that right?
Yes, I do believe the hacker, whoever it was, still access to those coins.
That's
So
crazy. Like that's crazy if you think about it. That that if that person actually does have access to move these coins, and the only reason they can't right now is because they're blacklisted on every major exchange or whatever. But as things progress through time, people's security gets lax, and there's more liquidity and more money moving around. That's crazy to think about. That it's quite possible that 80,000 Bitcoin is controlled by one entity out there. I mean, when you talk about that, that was what I thought, and I thought the chance was significantly lower than what you didn't give a number or anything. But you said it's possible. It's not like it's in it. It's not improbable. It's plausible. Is that pretty much how you feel about it?
yeah, and I mean, if it somehow, uh, I mean, I had arguments for and against essentially, but if somehow it was accepted, it would be very big for the whole story. So
Right. No, I think it was great to put out there and have the attention brought to everything. But I found that very interesting that everyone's talking about the security of the network and the way things work and everything on Bitcoin, and then people are not weighing the possibility that 80,000 Bitcoin is a lot of money for somebody to be able to move around. And then assuming they could get it into a pool somewhere or get it, and distributed to other wallets, that's a big deal. So it's definitely something to think about. And I have a feeling your proposal, it'll be something that's discussed over time. Like I don't think it's done. Like, do you think it's done now, or do you think that other people will be thinking about it again in the future?
No, I do think there will be a lot of discussion, especially as Bitcoin moves to different ways to sign transactions, specifically because of quantum encryption and so on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The fact is, all the current addresses in how many years, I don't know yet, will not be safe anymore. You've had some recent improvements in quantum breaking of crypto.
Right.
If you know how this works actually right now, it's something called the Shor's algorithm, which can be used to crack private keys using quantum computers for RSA and ECDSA.
And they've had some success doing that with quantum computing?
Let me share quickly the Wikipedia article just to show a little bit how it looks like here. The Shor's algorithm, it was made in 1994. And this is the current way most people think of implementing attacks. This is supposed to be possible. People who have been using quantum computers in universities and so on, I think Google used it successfully. But the issue is, to do any kind of attack, you need a lot of qubits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember the qubit number that they're currently at, but I know they are compounding them every 6 months or so. They're starting to rack up more of them.
And I remember, for the Shor's algorithm, there was a story of millions of qubits required. And actually, there's been a new algorithm that has been published recently that would need only 5,000 qubits.
Well, wow, that's not a lot, really. I think what are they at, hundreds right now? At the top of my head, I don't remember exactly. Average usage is 100. I could look it up.
I think Google has been doing a lot of things, and the thing is that all the stuff you will see quantum computers in the public, it's very likely that NSA and armies have a lot more powerful stuff available.
According to the interwebs, IBM currently has a 133 to 156 qubit processing ability. Google's around 105, and Atom Computing announced around 1,000 qubit. So it's still quite a ways off. But if you're saying 5,000 is breakable, that's not that far off. It's not that far away.
Yeah, things are moving forward, and this is with Shor's algorithm. Right now, this discussion, I'm trying to find the name of that algorithm because it's not coming up. I read this in the news a few days ago. But basically, the difficulty of performing this kind of attacks has gone down a lot. And Shor's algorithm, millions of qubits, that still verifies the future. But 5,000 qubits is so much closer.
Yeah, 5,000 qubits is pretty close. That's not that far off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if some entities out there, NSA or whatever, that have basically a lot larger budgets than private companies would have this kind of capabilities already.
Yeah, there's probably entities out there that are already capable of it. They're just not disclosing that. You would have to assume, yeah. if that if they're publicly disclosing out in the news that they have 1,000 qubit quantum processing ability, someone's probably got 5. They probably do. Let's be for real. Which, I mean, I don't want to get too much into what's going on over with the conflict and everything. They have the Helios laser, right, on the ship they're talking about. I was looking it up. Apparently that laser weapon system was developed back in like 95. So I'd imagine the powers that be probably have a nice quantum computer at their disposal.
Yeah, I just found the news I was looking for on the algorithm. It's called the GVJ. Let me share this instead. And this is a fairly recent announce. Actually, let me see the paper.
Well, let me share on an X that we're live. I should do that. I'll put it from the Chief Pussy account and my X as well. Oh, you already did, which is great. But I'll still send that into the community. Sorry, I should have done that right away. But I'm here. I'm with you.
Okay.
George, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How's it going, guys?
Chilling, brother. Talking about Mark's giving us a rundown on the state of crypto encryption on Bitcoin and quantum computing.
Yeah, I can see that. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I'll just finish quickly with that because this paper was published middle of February of this year, so it's still very recent.
Okay.
But this changes everything, basically.
Okay. All right, but so that's great. Okay, no, and this is brand new, right? So I guess I'll say to you is a lot of times people always talk about how they had. I guess the quantum FUD really isn't FUD anymore. It's an actual problem that needs to be addressed. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, things have been moving forward for some time, and when you have a threat, especially in IT, it will look far until it's right in front of you. So it's always a good idea when you see something coming, when it's still far, to already prepare for it, because it's going to be closer and very close to you before you can really realize how close it is.
Yeah, from basically everything. I had read some about this, and obviously it's also above my pay grade. I'm like George, it's above my pay grade. I understand a little bit of what you're talking about. But I had read that some people were saying, no, this is near future. This is the next 5 years. This is not a 10, 20-year problem. This is, the next 72 months. This stuff's going to start happening. So it's really interesting. And I guess you're saying, yeah, that's probably true. The next 5 years, this is going to be a real issue that has to be solved.
Yeah. And this really affects everyone in crypto, like Solana, Bitcoin. Everyone is affected by that.
And I mean, I'm sure you've seen the news. I'm sure a lot of what the hurdle is to this, the same thing with AI, is just the power consumption, the power production. But globally, power production is just increasing exponentially. So you'd have to imagine that will help speed up this process even more. I'm assuming quantum computers use quite a bit of electricity. But they're starting to. China now produces more electricity than the entire rest of the world, like combined. So, I'd imagine they're working on quantum computers as well, and they've got the juice to power them now. So
that they are.
Yeah,
definitely they are.
Can't blame them.
It doesn't use electricity in the same way as AI, for example, does, but it's still quite a lot of energy required.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine. Then you've got AI as well. So AI plus quantum, all this stuff that all definitely plays into it. China's making juice, man. Making the electricity over there. Oh man, that's great, Mark. That was really interesting. Where we left off, we talked about George because of Mark's proposal to the Bitcoin core community about making a change to the Git repository to unlock those Bitcoins and send them out to the Mt. Gox creditors. So then we kind of got into everything else that I found it most interesting that Mark said it was quite plausible that those tokens would move in the future. That he probably knows he has a good idea who that person may be, which is extremely interesting to me as well. Because I assume probably most people that know about Bitcoin just assume those tokens are essentially burned and they'll never move. And it seems like there's a real chance that they may move at some point, which is very, very interesting.
Did they ever open your case back up? Because I know when you put it in, they closed it like right away. Did they open?
Yeah, I mean, the discussion continued on the Bitcoin Talk forums and so on, so that's okay.
So it was more about the discussion than it was about them keeping the case open.
Yes.
Well, we talked to Mark in a space earlier in the week, and he said, Mark, you said pretty much bringing it to attention is a bit of a security measure in itself, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It makes sure that people remember this specific Bitcoins, and if the hacker wants to move it will be a lot more difficult to do it after I did this post than before, because everyone is looking at this again.
That's right. Yeah, because like I said, every single major crypto news source put out a post about this, and I guarantee you, people like of the current generation that just trade on Solana and things like that probably have no idea that there's a $5 or $6 billion, unconfirmed transaction sitting out there on the block to the Bitcoin network. They have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we have a message. I'll start with this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are we taking comments then on X? Oh, it actually shows where it came from. It came from X. I can see that there.
Came from X.
Good morning, Kay. Mr. Kalishnikov says GM gang. Good morning. Good morning. Let me send some other links out around here too while we're getting started. So what's new with you, George? How's things?
Things are good, man. Things are good. Just hanging out this morning, about to cook some breakfast after we finish up, and that's about it for me. How about you guys? How you guys doing? Everything good? Mark, good with the move?
Yeah, everything is good here. I guess we could talk a little bit about the two new things I saw since last time, like the incinerator has seen some updates and it's easier to use. And
Yeah.
we've got the staking pool list of pools.
Yeah, so the incinerator is exciting because it's amazing to me. We saw some feedback from people in the community that they were getting back significant amounts of Solana. Like George and I we've been around in the trenches on Solana for quite some time. So we just assume everyone knows about how the Solana token fee rent structure works. But apparently not, because quite a few people in the Chief Pussy X community are getting back full Solana rewards for using the incinerator. Quarter, 0.25 Sol, 0.5 Sol. Somebody got back up to 2 Solana back. They've just never done this. So it's working, and it's working really well. And again, it's 0 fees with a tip optional, right?
Yes. You can choose how much fees you want to give. You can decide to give everything. So if it's an address, for example, you're not using, but you just want to get rid of the accounts on it, you can do that. Or you can decide to not give anything, move the slider in the other direction.
Yeah, so I think that's an important distinction, because you changed this up since we first put that original video out. Now by default it will go to the sponsored burn, so that everything just works smoothly, and it starts with a 5% tip.
Yeah,
you can in fact lower that down to 0 if you would like, and tip nothing, and it'll still use the sponsored Solana fee from Chief Pussy to execute the burn, and it'll take that transaction fee out of the back end. So you can tip nothing if you'd like, or you can tip a little bit, which goes towards maintaining the pool and just making sure this works for everyone. But you can tip zero because the transaction comes out of the back end and everything's fine. But by default, it's set to 5%, and then you can put it to zero if you want. Now, there's also on the right there with that little down arrow. If you don't want to use the sponsored pool, you can execute by yourself and pay your own transaction, and that is zero fees by default forever. So you can still use the sponsored burn, or you can also do the third option as well. Is you can begin the transaction to clear the accounts, and then you'll get a link to send to someone a burn address, and they can pay it for you with a third party wallet or a different wallet that you have. And all of these are zero fees with the option of a tip. So go ahead, Mark.
Actually, when you choose to copy for someone else, it can be someone that will send the transaction for you, or it could be another wallet of yours. So if you choose to send for someone else, you choose to tip 100%. It means that all the Solana recovered will be recovered on the other account. So really, if you have accounts you don't want to use anymore, but you don't want to bother moving Solanas to your active accounts, you can just tip 100%, but here your active account address, sign and copy. It will copy for you a string that you can then go here and submit, paste, and execute. And it will execute the burn from your unused address and give you the Solana on your main address.
So if you do 100, so essentially, if you have a bunch of addresses with you, a couple of dollars of Sol, you can use the third-party account option there and send it to your other wallet, and you actually be able to collect all that minute Sol to your new wallet if you use 100% tip. The secondary tip on that option moves the Solana to your new wallet.
You just need to be careful that it's going to link both wallets, so people looking at the blockchain may know.
Yeah,
looking at the transaction that it's the same person.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice feature, because that way you don't have to execute your own transaction. You can just pay for it, burn it, and then you can collect Solana from these different wallets, and it'll go through, and you'll be able to gather back your amounts of Sol, assuming you don't want, say, not to say anything about the Solana blockchain and the people who are on it. It's gonna make a bubble maps link. But still, that's the great part about the sponsored burn, is you can have zero Solana in a wallet. And again, like I said, when I first was thinking about this, we were talking about it, I estimated in my head, it's probably a couple 100,000 wallets that are in the scenario where they have open token rents but zero Solana to execute a transaction. And what we found out is it's actually probably closer to 2 to 5 million. That's based on very smart AI estimation of wallet havlets on Solana, user breakdowns, and things like that. And so it could be up to 2 to 5 million wallets that are in that scenario, with between 10 to 50,000 Solana theoretically held up in these wallets that can't move, and up to a 4 or 5 gig Solana state reduction, assuming all of them got cleared out, which you never get all of them, but still, that's significant numbers, millions of wallets that are able to be cleaned up and closed out and get their Solana back through the account incinerator on labs.chiefpussy.com.
Yeah, and usually a lot of those people are just people who received spam coins. And I find it very poetic that you can just burn the spam and get some money out of it.
Yep, there's a lot of, especially if you're a wallet that attracts attention based on your trading habits, you will get dusted a lot. I have some wallets like that where I've been dusted by, they either send you, like, dusting is a term in crypto to track your movements or whatever, or to get you to try to interact with their token, or as an advertisement method. Some people try to send their tokens out to people for advertisements, and you can just burn them and get your Solana back, and that's great. And there's been a lot of transactions. You said a lot of people have been using the burner so far, right, Mark?
Yeah, I've been surprised with the number of transactions. It's quite a lot more than expected.
it's a much needed service, and there are some really great other communities that have been on Solana for a long time, and they offer this, but most of them do not offer it for zero fees. And as far as I know, no one offers a sponsored burn that just works with an optional tip on top of it. So the real beauty of the account incinerator and Chief Pussy Labs is that it will work. Like whatever state your wallet is in, if you have open token accounts, no Solana, whatever, or if you want to move your Solana from these small wallets to your main wallet via the copy and paste option, or if you just want to do zero fees and do self pay, the account burner at Token Incinerator at Chief Pussy Labs will work. That's the real beauty of it, and I think that's what most people want is they want to just have a utility they go to, they click into it, and it works. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, another feature that's not found in other incinerators is a partial burn. So if you want to just burn some tokens, not everything, you can just put the amount here. You'll be able to just burn whatever you want to burn manually, like not close
Yeah,
the
so
account.
when say you're a token dev or you're a part of a community and you want to make a burn for whatever reason, and that is true. And I like that it's just a button right there on the right that comes up, very simple, and you don't have to burn your entire stack. You can burn, you don't want to burn. You want to burn 100,000 tokens, not a million tokens. There's a very easy option for you to do that as well at chiefpussy.com. Bless you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah. When I just came on and I wanted to do some burns, actually Josh told me that the only way to do it is to send to another address and then burn the account.
Yep. That's actually been something that's been it's been that way for some time. And again, you don't want to say anything negative about people that are providing a service on Solana when there's no better option, because it is what it is. But there's been quite a few prolific moments where, because of that limitation, people have burnt a lot of tokens on accident, like that they didn't mean to do, especially when you realize that we're on Solana and people are being onboarded to Solana all the time that are not crypto literate the way that you are, and to a lesser extent me and George are. And these people, especially with the claim the fees narrative and meta, these people are coming in, they don't know how this stuff works, they don't, so they're all go here and burn it or whatever, and they unless you read it very carefully, you can very easily, it's an all or nothing burn at the most popular DApp that had been until now. And it often happens that they don't realize what they're doing, and so you to take your tokens, move the portion you want to burn to a new wallet, then you got to move the portion, you got to send Solana over to use that wallet afterward. A lot of regular everyday people simply don't understand how, ETH is one thing and Bitcoin's another. Solana is very cheap with its gas, with its transactional cost requirements, but it's still there. You still need some Solana. A lot of people don't understand that you have to have the base coin of the network to transact. And you can see, because Solana is attracting so much everyday people to come in, retail, quote unquote, that a lot of the major players on the ecosystem, Jupiter, Phantom, etc., are trying to move to gasless transactions or feeless transactions, to where the fee actually comes out of the back end. Which is why when we were talking, I had this similar idea for the incinerator with the sponsored burn, because many people don't understand the fundamental underlying tech of what they're getting involved with, and they really shouldn't need to, especially if you have talented devs and people on the chain that can make it work. And that's why I'm so excited to be part of Chief Pussy with you, is because you've made something here that anyone can use right away, and it just works. And you've added features like partial burns and things like that, so people don't have to understand wallet structures and all this other stuff, and and they can just come in and it can work. And I think it's desperately needed on Solana, and I think as we get more and more people exposed to it, they're going to appreciate what you're building here. And again, it's zero fees with an optional tip. I think that's huge in and of itself. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think it's great.
Yeah, I will close this and we can go through some of the comments.
Yeah, let's do that. Maximum reality. Jack says, I think the wallet is Taban's. Could be. Could be. Beanstalk67 says, let's go. Yes, let's go, fam.
Yeah, let's go is a expression I see a lot in the Solana space, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very specific.
Yeah, very. Yep. That's Solana is a very what's the word? I'm trying to see where we are on the list on Pump as well. Yeah, it's a very enthusiastic with its own language sometimes, its own expressions. But yes, let's go is definitely one. It's also LFG, it's standard crypto slang, things like that. But yeah, Solana's its own animal. I love it.
There's so many expressions that either are very specific to Solana or are influenced by other crypto blockchains and so on. Like, for example, if you look at CA, contract address,
right?
On Solana, you don't talk about contracts. Things are programs. And typically what you say a CA is actually a PDA.
Right, yes. A program derived address. Yes, right. Yes. Yeah, but everyone says CA. They also there's been a lot of that too. There was something I was they call market makers. They call them volume bots. that's I tried to explain that to someone one time. I'm like, what's a volume? I'm like, oh, you mean just like a market maker without an algo, right? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you're talking about, like, so they have their own language, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of expression I've learned in the past month, I guess.
Yeah, it's been about a month. Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Which is, by the way, in Solana, that's an eternity. By the way, that's forever and a day.
Yeah, so keeping up with everything has been interesting.
So I just looked. I was trying to look on Pump without having the audio cut in and drive me crazy. So they did just do a really nice UI changeover. George told me about a revamp for the live streaming page on Pump.fun. And right now we are the number 5 stream on the platform, and we are in the featured list up top, which is very nice. It's very nice. I like how that works. I noticed a lot of times when you would go live, even if you had a significantly, an active, token and community, sometimes you would get lost in the sauce a little bit. But this new UI on Pump is nice. Are you able to show that at all, Mark? Or maybe, yeah, are you able to show that? Go on Pump and show that?
Yes.
I feel we should show our Patreon a little bit. Yeah, it does automatically do audio. I don't know if we can. Yeah.
1 second. I'm going to try to filter this out.
Yes. You can silence the browser window, but I don't know what you're using. That's what I had to do because it does automatically throw audio.
Yeah. Okay. See. I'm not sure where the audio comes from. I'm going to try to see if I can block it here.
You'd have to probably block it at the browser page. I'm on Brave, top left. There's a little toggle next to the bookmark.
Naturally, I can block it directly on the stream.
There we go. Oh, very nice. So this new UI is actually really good for Alon. If you're listening, this is nice. This is we're gonna plug our patron platform for a minute. Is that okay, Mark?
Yeah.
I will say too, besides everything else, besides Pump being an innovator in the meme coin space, you got to admit they're the number one meme coin platform in all of blockchain. There's no denying that. They've set so many different metas. You can't deny any of that. I will say the people that actually have working on their tech with the way they've rolled out Pump 2.0 and CCM, creator coin meta, all this other stuff. This is nice. This is the way that and it was a little bit, like I said, it was really easy before to get lost in the sauce, even if you had a pretty big project and it would just randomly throw you up there. But the fact that you're live right now, you're the number 5 stream. It takes into account like market. Maybe George can talk about this. It takes into account market cap. It takes into account viewership, all this other stuff. And it's nice that we're live on the weekly update for Chief Pussy on a Friday, and we're the number 5 stream, and we are in the trending page up there on top as well. I think that's really good. So I'm going to say W Pump Fun, W Alon. That's very nice. What do you think, George?
Yeah, and honestly, hopefully we can get our viewership up, and we can, you can be trending in 2 columns, I believe. So if we have, a lot of viewers, we'd be in most views column as well. So people trading off these streams, like the metrics on what the stream outputs are, it gives us a nice, advantage.
So if you're watching on X or YouTube, please also throw up pump. You can close off the audio so you don't get overwhelmed. But like, I know this is, I guess on Twitch that's not good. It's called stream something or other. I don't know. But like, let's go throw a pump on too. You know what I'm saying? You got an extra window. You could do that.
And by the way, you can see the Pump.Fun live page on the Pump.Fun live page. It's inception of.
Yeah, it's pumpception. No, it's great, man. Like I said, I mean the biggest part for me. Oh yeah, I see it on the video there. We're now in the video. You got your pump septed there. I see that. Yeah, your Taban septed. No, the greatest part for me about it is, I should go check that too. Let's go check. The greatest part about it is, I haven't checked the memes. I mean, look. Let's see if there's any new memes. Can we do that? Can we go check the memes for a minute, Mark? Do you care to do that?
Yes.
On the website. So the greatest part for me is, and I think I've used this phrase a lot.
The first one's a banger.
What's up?
The first one's a banger.
Yeah, that one is a good one. I like that one a lot. That's hot.
Yeah, I'm not sure who this guy on the top left is.
I'll admit, it's close, but it's not exact. It's close, but it's not quite. I gotta say, I look good though. Like, you two guys are all right, but me and Taban, we look good. Okay, but no, that's good. I think I know who made that one. It came out nice though. I like that one a lot. But the best part for me is, besides all this great tech stuff that is going on and all these amazing utilities that you're working on, we haven't even gotten to the real meat and potatoes yet, besides the incinerator, which is hugely needed in the ecosystem, and it's zero fees. And sometimes you're so broke you can't make a transaction. You need that zero fee reclaim. Taban's a meme. Taban was a meme back in 2011, right? On the Bitcoin forums. Am I wrong, Mark? Like way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
That was back even when we had the earthquake in Japan in March of 2011. Everyone was worried about Taban, and just part of the discussion we had on IRC back in the days.
That's crazy. So, like, to me, that people don't understand, besides all this stuff you're building, and besides that being able to come in and have interactions with you and talk about all this stuff about Bitcoin and quantum computing, and Taban's, I can't think what would be an older animal meme, an older animal crypto meme, considering Taban predates Doge by 2 years. Doge didn't come around until late 2013. So besides everything else, this handsome gold-eyed cat was quite possibly the original crypto meme. Am I crazy here? Like, I've never asked you that directly. Like, do you know of any other animal that would be any other cat or anything? Because everyone in crypto, they like, there's Doge and there's SHIB. There's always the animals are the most popular, long-lasting. Even Pepe's a frog, even though he's a degen frog. But they like animals. It's like a reoccurring theme, obviously, like Punch, the monkey, everything like that. If the timeline is correct, and you're talking about you're running Mt. Gox in 2011, and Taban's a meme quantity, they're trying to blame Taban for Bitcoins going missing, taking a nap on the keyboard. Is there an older crypto animal meme that you know of than Taban?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either. And that's my favorite part. Like,
Maybe you've got the alpaca.
what's that? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Alpaca. Let me find the original. Sorry, alpaca.
It's an alpaca?
Let me get you some of the Bitcoin wiki.
Yeah, do
Oh my
alpacas really wear socks? That's a Bitcoin meme as well. But I think that's later than
Yeah,
this.
it's February
March.
10, 2011.
Okay. But it's not a cat. It's an alpaca.
Yeah,
When was Taban in the mix though? He's noted as the original Bitcoin cat, I think from 2008 or 9, right?
yeah. I mean, when I really started to join the Bitcoin community was in 2010,
Right.
middle of the year.
So
But
he's
I
in.
was
Go ahead.
not reading Mongox until March of 2011.
Oh, so the alpaca predates Taban by 1 month.
Yeah,
But it's an alpaca.
yeah, it's an alpaca.
It's an alpaca.
And
No,
it's
but-
actually an anonymous alpaca. We don't know if it's only
Oh.
one, if it's multiple.
Ah, that ain't nothing then.
Yeah.
It's not a handsome cat, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know how many alpacas just giving us socks.
But I mean, like I said, so you know, the number one cat of crypto. If you want to give dogs to Doge, you know, I can see that. But Taban is the cat then, like the number one, the OG. And like I said, I think everyone on Solana's like, oh, I need a token with lore. I need a token with lore. I need a good story. I don't want to just buy a random thing. I don't want to buy a token without any story to it. And I don't get how you get a bigger story than Taban as a meme for an animal meme. You know, he's the original cat. You know, he took a nap on your keyboard, Mark, and he sent out 2,000 Bitcoin or whatever. You know?
Actually, T-Bad would often sleep between the keyboard and the screen.
Yeah, I've seen cats do that. That's it's comfortable in there.
I think cats like to be seen.
Yeah,
good
they-
way to get attention while having some place to sleep.
Yeah, plus it's right next to your hands. It's like it can bother you, you know? And they're sleeping there. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome though.
Until you sleep on your hand, on the mouse.
That's awesome. Oh man. But yeah, I think that a lot of this that is I think people are, because you're so active doing the dev work, that they forget how simple the meme is on the surface, which is another thing that people always talk about that they want, you know, from a meme, is they want it to be simple. You don't have to explain it. It doesn't take a whole thesis. It's just the meme is Taban. He's the original Bitcoin cat. He's the original crypto cat. He's the first cat of crypto. He's royalty, okay? And he's loose on the Solana blockchain. It's very simple, very elegant. The fact that you're using his meme status and his legacy to do some research for feline health issues, as well as make all these amazing utilities for Solana, I think that's just net bonus, you know. But I think that the meme itself is very simple and easy to understand, and I think some people need to just get back to the roots on that and understand it. Oh wow, check it out,
Yeah,
man.
that's the
OG pick
usual.
Bitcoin form.
Man, that's crazy. It looks comfortable as hell though. I can't blame him. You got the little bit of like the little wrist pad there on top of the keyboard or something like that. That looks good. I can see that. That looks nice.
Yeah, that used to be the usual place to rest.
That's awesome. That's a great picture. And that what year was that? Probably what would you say that? What year was that roughly? You would say
It's 2011.
2011.
Let
Yeah.
me check quickly. 2010 actually. August
2010.
2010.
Hey, we're blowing the alpaca out. No, that's amazing. That's great. I think there's a lot of people. It's going to take time for them to realize what's going on. I think there's probably still some people that don't believe you're a Solana dev. They probably don't believe it. I've seen a few people like making comments about it. Have you had any have you talked to anybody or whatever that asked you like, what the hell are you doing on Solana?
I talked with some people, but most people actually are fine with it. At least the people I know.
That's good. I mean, I think that there's a lot of stuff going on with Solana, so I think you're building things in the right place. And like I said in the space the other day, we need you. We need you bad, man. It's rough around here. But I don't want to derail or anything, man. Because like I said, I wanted to take some time to just appreciate the meme that at the heart of this thing with this Devon. Have any other comments come in from X or anything?
Yeah, actually, quite a lot of comments from Beanstalk60 said, I'm going to just show everything. That would be easier.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Oh, spicy take in the chat. Whoa. Where are these coming in from X? The X stream?
yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can just... Why don't I get the same list? By the way, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird because I went to go look and I don't see the same ones either. It doesn't show the old ones when I try to go in there. Interesting. Beanstalk67 said, Mark is my dev. Beanstalk67, that is a good one, yes. Maximum Reality says, Mark is a stud. True. I'm going to skip that last part there. Hakuda Matata said, when Chief Pussy merch? That's a question we can discuss at some point. I guess we can, in hypothetical. Then Beanstalk does something that I'm not going to repeat on stream. Collision the Cop said, haha, epic. And then Maximum Reality said, oh, that's sweet. Tabane, heart hands. Shout out to a real dev. Yeah, for sure. That's like I think that's one of the stories that have yet to permeate the Solana space, that they have gained +1 of a real dev. Wooden Metal says, how is this not 20 million yet? I don't know, Wooden Metal. I don't know. I put a message out. I put a post out last night. I was feeling a little bit unstable. I was starting to catch a cold. And I said that, because a lot of people like Elon Musk has talked about how he theorizes that we're most likely in a simulation. We most likely live in a simulation. Have you heard about this, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very common way of thinking. Some people are proving that we're not in a simulation. Some people are proving that we are in a simulation. I don't think there's a way to know if we are not in a simulation until we know how it's made.
If you were a betting man, would you bet simulation, yes or no, Mark?
That's a good question, but
okay, I'll rephrase that. That's not really fair. That's not really fair. Like, what are your thoughts about that? About being a simulation or not?
Yeah, I would tend to go towards this being a simulation for different reasons. But as I said, it's impossible to know for sure. We don't have all the good evidence, but what I can tell for sure is all the stuff that happens at the quantum level, like when things are so small you cannot see, it just behaves differently. That looks a lot like the kind of optimizations you do in a 3D engine.
Yeah, like there's and they also have there's two things. Like I read about this stuff above my pay grade, but like you have the ability to transmit data through quantum observance or something like that, and that's part of why they think it's possibly computer code, the way that operates. Like you actually able to transmit data across space at a quantum level or whatever. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, not sure. I mean, there's a different way of thinking of those different things, but
Yeah.
Until I can actually connect to the simulation itself and do something with it, modify it, I won't say that we proved with the simulation yet.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I don't want to derail too much. I'm down to talk. I'm down to talk quantum entanglement with you all day. But the reason I said that is I put it because Wooden Metal wants to know how come Chief Pussy isn't at 20 million right now. I said that was the proof that we live in a simulation. Because there's no way Mark comes on Solana, becomes a Solana dev. We're in here, we're pumping Pump's tires, telling them that their UI looks nice. And but I gotta say though, Totally did put some fire emojis on you. That was cool. So far, the only person that said anything, which is a big deal because Totally is a big deal on Solana, obviously. He did repost you asking to get let into the Seeker dev program. So that was cool. But other than that, everybody else is just like, where they at? So I said that was proof. Obviously, Mark being recognized as a Solana dev, but probably it's got to break some parameter in the simulation. So it just can't be allowed to happen. That was my joke I made.
Yeah. But speaking about this, I think it's quite important actually to break the norms. Like if people expect you to do something or to not do something, it usually means there might be something interesting on the other way of that wall.
Yeah, I think I pick up what you're laying down a little bit. I think you becoming a Solana dev is breaking things. I think that there are things that are so improbable and implausible, and I think that's part of that. There are people out there who probably haven't fully figured out that you're not just interested, but that you are like you built. I mean, okay, so I'll rephrase it this way. You've said several times that building on Solana is actually quite pleasant. You've said that you've made a bunch of utilities and stuff, and you started working on what else have you been working on with Solana? Just the general things you do. You said you had started working on Solana payments at some point. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but you did start working on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we accept Solana on VP.net.
Right. Yeah, on VP.net, that your VPN service that has Intel SGX privacy enclaves, right? So that no one can see what your traffic is.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can log in and pay with a Solana wallet there on VP.net now.
Yes, you can. That's one of the interesting things with that is I have a generic payment system.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I mean, I think that's going to be news, and like people like that, you've integrated Solana for payments for your VPN service. I think even that's news that just hasn't gotten out there yet, and it will over time.
Yeah, let me just quickly get this on the screen.
Ryan Medijed said he was asking about everything went over. The stream is recorded. We're on YouTube as well, right, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's on Mark's YouTube account, it's on Mark's X account, and it's on Pump. They're all recorded. You'll be able to replay it and go through it. We still have another major utility update to talk about that we haven't gone over yet. We kind of got sidetracked talking about stuff. So we're just hanging out. This is the Chief Pussy weekly update. We're hanging out. Talking about quantum entanglement. It's 3 a.m. for Mark. We're talking about quantum entanglement. Kalishnikov said, Mark, any of your friends reached out to you asking if your account is hacked or something after you joined the Solana trenches? Laughing face.
Yeah, I did get some of these, and actually one of the posts was public. Like, DM me if it's real you.
I saw that. That had me laughing. I think there are probably still people that think your account may be compromised because, like you said, this is a simulation breaking event. Like no one's. This is probably not on most people's bingo cards.
Yeah, hopefully so. I wouldn't want to be doing something people expect me to do.
Right. Well, I said in our space, I don't think you were there or not, but I called you a habitual first mover. Like I learned from one Mr. Sergey Nazarov, who's CEO of Chainlink. Oh, there's VP now. Hold on 1 second. I learned about first mover, fast follower ideology, and I think that's very true. And the idea that new narratives, new metas, that takes one person to do it, and then everyone ultimately does it very quickly. And we actually saw some of that with a few protocols popping up on Solana trying to enable holder fees, rewards from pump fund tokens. So I just lost my train of thought, rambling off.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I called you a habitual first mover. Like you were a first mover on Bitcoin. You were a first mover on buying one of the first 10 Raspberry Pis. And I would say that even though there are a few other people from the Bitcoin ecosystem moving over, no one really of your track record has really moved into the Solana ecosystem yet. So I would say you're a first mover of legitimacy of, OG Bitcoin heads coming into the Solana ecosystem. So what do you think about that? Do you think you're a habitual first mover?
I mean, I guess I do tend to look at things, and I prefer new things for different reasons. I'm not sure if first mover is a good thing, because I mean it's a correct one, because I often go on things, I may not move things. It depends on the times.
Yeah, but I admire your nature to discover new things, and obviously you discovered new things with Bitcoin, obviously before many people did, before most people in the world did, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky with Bitcoin to have nice people around me, showing me the way. And the same thing here. I'm coming to Solana. There's a lot of very nice people here explaining things. And I do think that having a new technology, having new things is important. But if you don't have people around it, it's not going to go anywhere.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. Having been all over the crypto landscape, using different layer 2s and everything like that, I agree with that. I think that's very true. Yeah, I didn't mean to try to put words in your mouth or anything, but I admire. I looking at your history, you seem to be at the forefront of a lot of stuff. So I think you're at the forefront of people coming into Solana and legitimizing Solana, even though the metrics on Solana are quite good, obviously, and there are some issues in the background that we've talked about with validators and things like that, and the massive requirement it takes to run a validator and things like that, which I think will be solved. And between you and me, I think some people are going to ask you about it, because would you have ideas of ways to help with it?
For Solana, actually, it's a bit difficult, because if you try to change things, it may limit the number, the volume of transactions can go through and so on.
Right.
Solana's main selling point is we can handle a lot of traffic.
Right.
The thing is, most validators and most people that would want to run a node cannot just, don't have the hardware that it would require to run locally.
Yeah, I remember. Even a couple of years ago, it was quite significant. Like last year, it was quite significant. It's probably more now.
Yeah, I don't think it got any better.
I bet not.
I wanted to show off quickly on VP.net how you can check out with crypto, because
yes, please. I think this is huge. I mean, everyone's always talking about payments on Solana and integration and stuff. Having Solana integrated on VP.net, an amazing product. I'll let you talk about it. Verified, computational privacy of your data, not trusting anyone. VP.net is a great service, so please go ahead, Mark.
Oh yeah, typically, I will go with the monthly plan, but you can choose something that will be cheaper per month. We have the checkout page, and if you look at the very bottom here, we have a very small hidden link for payment method other than card.
Aha.
So this is the secret button, actually, that you need to press. It will ask you to provide some information, because legally we need to. We're actually going to be changing some of that.
Right.
And when you confirm here, you get to basically a regular checkout page. That's not working. That's a nice effect of doing a demonstration live. And you get cryptocurrencies right here.
Cryptocurrency. Yep, there it is.
And it's not working. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that quickly.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post.
Give it a second. I guess that's when you do a demo, it's always like that.
Yeah, that's how it works. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, all you Solana degens out there, you can go get a VPN, which, if you not financial advice, not legal advice, a lot of you, from what I'm told, a lot of people use VPNs to qualify for airdrops and things and access certain services. But one of the big issues is, and I'll let you talk about this since it's your product, is essentially when you connect through a VPN, you're sort of trusting this third party not to either sell your web history, sell your data, or not really look at it. And most of them just say, yeah, we won't do that, but there's no guarantee they won't. What makes VP.net different is that it's run through an SGX enclave, and it can't be accessed. Is that right?
Yeah. The way it works with VP.net is we use we prove basically what's running on the servers. So let me check quickly if I have a valid enclave. What are we using today? I'm going to get this very quickly.
You're good. So, George, what do you think? Do you think it's a big deal that Mark is integrating Solana payments to his services?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if we've talked about it in a while, but honestly, the Devil Fruit stuff is crazy. A lot of the music and storytelling that you can do on Devil's Fruit, Mark actually said Chief Pussy holders get like a free trial, and then in the future there might be a token gated pay with Chief Pussy for your subscription access. So I think it's good that you're getting into the VPN stuff and sharing what other work you've actually already done.
I agree. I think that's something we can talk about in the future is sort of figuring out how that's going to work. I think I said, besides the meme just being a simple cat, the original cryptocurrency cat and Taban, building this community of both utilities, people, and also resources, and be able to make an actual inclusive, cohesive club, like kind of a club. That's really what the meme coins are about. It's belonging to something, right? So being able to actually have some services that Mark uses, and also it adds legitimacy, because if you're gonna integrate stuff from your meme coin on Solana to your AI suite with Devil Fruit, which is very impressive, or your VPN with VP.net, which works very well. I've used it; it works very, very well. But it looks like Mark's got the window up here, so he can talk about it.
Yeah, and to get back to VP.net, when you connect to the VPN, you can actually click on the code that appears when you're connected. So you have this very long hash, which corresponds to what's running on the server. And clicking on it will give you this page that gives you a link to the source code. And you can actually open this on GitHub. And this gives you basically, there's not a lot of changes in this commit. But if I go back here, I can see all of the source code and exactly what's happening on the server. So this is not open source in the way that it's not something you can just copy for whatever you want to do. There's a license, which is source available for examination, that allows anyone who wants to read the source to read it, analyze it, but not use it for their own purpose, because that's
it's kind of your business model.
Yeah.
But still, it's great that you allow people to actually go look at it, and especially when we exist in a world of so much of trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Which is
the idea here is not trust me, bro, but to actually have people be able to verify what's happening.
Right. They can go look in the nuts and bolts of it. They can't copy it to use it for their own. That way, if someone does, you made it very clear legally they're able to do that. But they're able to go look at it, and they don't have to. Which is another Solana idiom, another Solana turn of phrase is "trust me, bro."
This actually goes quite far because this runs in what we call userland, so it's not into the kernel, but it handles the network address translation, the NAT, which typically is something you just let the kernel of the machine handle. Because it's handled inside the enclave, it means that whatever traffic you have is translated and basically comes always from the machine IPs from within the enclave. So it's not possible, even analyzing the systems on network tables and so on, to know which traffic which user.
That's huge. I think that's great, and it works very well. It's very smooth and seamless. I have it on both my desktop and my phone, and it works great. So if you want a VPN and you don't want anybody snooping on what you're looking at, go to vp.net and sign up and pay with Solana. You can pay with Solana.
I should have this fixed, by the way. It's pushing and testing right now before going live, but it should be okay.
Well, I gotta say, first of all, I'm pretty astounded, and then we can circle back, and then we can cover the pool thing, the pool explorer, which is huge. But I found out that I knew that you were away from home, which I should have logically assumed this. But all of the utilities that you've built for Chief Pussy, you've got the meme staking DApp, which is zero fees for anyone on Pump Fund to put their token in a staking pool, redirect their fees, and reward holders. 0 fees. The CTO fee monitor, the account incinerator, which now has 3 different ways to confirm it, to send your Solana to your other wallets, 0 fees, an optional tip, sponsored burn, all this stuff just works. You did all of that while you were away. Oh, and also the meme gallery itself, you did that, and then also the ability to send stake tokens to people. So it's like 4 or 5 utilities.
The pool page as well of all
and the pool
outlining tokens.
Yeah, that was all done while you were on vacation. Not on vacation. Not vacation. Not vacation. Not vacation. That's the wrong word. While you were away from home on a laptop. I think that's like you weren't even at your main workstation.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now that I'm back on my computer.
Yeah, it was not vacation. It was something very serious going on. I can appreciate it. It was came out wrong just when I was talking. But yeah, Mark had a lot of stuff going on up in the middle of the night, real busy, and working on a laptop away from home, and just changing the game on Solana. I found that makes it even more impressive. So props to you, man. That was. I should have realized that, but I didn't, But that's pretty cool that you were able to pull that off, and then you came home and you had to sync everything up between your workstation and your laptop, etc. That was very interesting to me.
Yeah, that was a little bit of work, but I think I'm back online. Everything looking smooth.
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate it. I know that there's a lot of stuff. You did a lot of stuff in a short amount of time, and with a lot of stuff going on IRL and everything as well. So we appreciate you. We need you on Solana. But we appreciate you a lot, man. We really do. Do you want to talk about the Pool Explorer?
Yes, let's talk about the Pool Explorer. Let me get this on the screen. Share screen, and here we are.
Okay. There we go. So what this is you're able to set up Mark made a smart contract in Solana where you can redirect fees from your Pump Fund SPL 2022 tokens that are on Pump. You can take the fees even pre-graduation. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, even pre-graduation, even pre-migration to the Pump Swap LP. So even when you first launch your token, you can come over, make your token on Pump.Fund, and then you come over to labs.chiefpussy and go to staking, put your CA in. There's a couple videos of running through how to do that, and you can set up a pool to give between 1 up to 100% of your fees back to stakers. And then you can set your time wait, how long you want the wait to mature over however many days. The original Taban staking pool matures over 30 days with its weighted feature. You can set how many days you want the staking lock to be. You can set how many days you want the staking cooldown period. So after someone unstakes, how long they have to wait to withdraw their tokens out. Until just a couple days ago, though, you had to provide a direct link to your staking pool for people to access it. But now there is that the page that Mark put together, browse all pools. When you go into labs.chiefpussy.com, click staking, you'll be able to come in to see this window here. And that has metrics for you to sort all of the currently available tokens that have a pool set up. If they're not highlighted, if I'm correct, that means they haven't properly set up their fees to be sent to the pool. Is that right?
Actually, it means that there's zero staked.
Oh, so the non-highlighted is zero stake, but some of them, if you click in there, they say that fees have not been properly set up. So when you're able to sort by metrics of how much Solana is in the rewards pool, like Taban there at the top has 19.96 SOL in its balance. There's one below there that's got 6 SOL in its balance. You're able to see the number of stakers. You're able to see what their wait of time is, how many tokens are in the pool, etc. And there's searchable metrics for you to go through and see everything that's on the platform currently. And that's really huge for people to see which projects are utilizing the platform. So it's much easier for people to come in and see new projects that are coming in and want to reward holders with their staking fees rather than using another option such as cash back or keeping the fees to themselves, etc. And then, Mark, if you could click into Taban there, if you wouldn't mind, into Chief Pussy, you can see there at the top it shows you all the different settings there. It's a 30-day wait, and on the right it shows you the settings of the pool. So you've got minimum 10,000 deposited, the lock time, the cooldown time, all that stuff, and a bunch of other metrics of information. How much Solana, what your time wait is down there, and then how much rewards you have, and even you can even make a nice P&L card to show people how much Solana you have drawn out of the platform over time. So that's actually a huge update. It's a way for tokens that want to try out the platform, and I encourage people to do that. If you are a token dev on Solana, on Pump.fun, this is right now exclusive to Pump Fund tickers, tokens. Is that right, Mark?
Yes, especially for all the creator fee distribution system that directly connects with Pump Fund and gets the current settings. And actually, for this token, it's not locked, because I kept the freedom to change this in the future. But the developer actually gets the option to lock the distribution, in which case locked echo will appear here.
Right, yeah, it shows you a message that this token has renounced the ability to change the fees once they've locked it. So if you go ahead, Mark, sorry.
Yeah, and you've got some links at the top to Pump Fund, to SoulScan, and here to get more information about the token itself.
What's interesting is for someone that, say, hypothetically would want to make a token with 100% fees, if you scroll down a little bit, which I find a really nice feature that you've actually understood how Solana backend works, anyone can call a distribution for the fees. When you go to you put the contract address in the CA. Yeah, anyone can go in there and pay the fee to disperse what's in the vault out to the fees. So you can theoretically, if you have a meme that you really want to run at 100% fees, but this idea that everyone is the dev we've been talking a little bit about. Once you set up the pool to receive 100% fees and you renounce the ability to change the reward disbursement, at that point anyone in the pool can distribute those fees.
Yeah, actually, anyone can distribute anyone's fees.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but it's actually true that anyone can go and distribute the fees. They can't change where they're distributed to. They can't change any settings. The settings are all set up by the original owner of the deployer, but anyone can go and distribute fees. That's just how Solana works, right?
Yeah, at least for Pump.fun.
At least for Pump.fun, yeah. There's no security issue. It's just anyone can say, okay, send the fees out.
Yeah.
You know?
You just aren't paying for the transaction. So if you're not a recipient, there's no real advantage for you.
Right. You're not going to gain anything by doing it. You're paying for the call function, basically. So I think it's hugely interesting. I think it's a great way to. If you, there are actually a few imitation projects popping up around in the ecosystem. The biggest one that just happened, they were taking a 20% fee, which is a little bit much, and it's a little bit more than a 0% fee. So I know a lot of people that are into meme coins and stuff. They don't have a lot of overhead money. That's kind of one of the beauties. One of the beautiful things about Pump and CCM is that it enabled anyone to access the capital of their content and the capital of their creations directly through the speed, efficiency, and cost effectiveness of the Solana blockchain. You don't need a dev. You don't need 20 grand. You just need an idea, a game plan. Go to pump.fun, launch your token, launch your meme, and then that costs you very little to do that. You're talking about amounts of money anyone has. And then at the same time, you can come over here to Chief Pussy Labs, labs.chiefpussy.com, and it costs you nothing to set up a staking pool for your meme token. You don't have to do all the fees. You can choose, from 1 to 100%, and reward people for holding your token. Set up the time, how long you want to be in there, and the way it's set up. There's a wait system, so to access their full, when the fees go out, they get proportional to their percentage in the pool. But it takes time based on your settings you set up for that to unlock. You see that the weight bar there for Mark, it takes 90 days to get very close to 100% weighted. It's like a vesting schedule, and anyone can do this for free. There's no fees on this at all, and it's a nice added utility in a way that changes the meta. To reward holders and give back to people that actually want to believe and participate in your ecosystem long term, and a way that devs can both reward the people that believe in them, and they can still receive funding themselves. They can set it up however they want. The settings are quite versatile for whatever it is you want to build with Pump. You can augment what you're building with pump.fun at labs.chiefpussy.com. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Just one thing I'm a bit worried about lately is taking no fees. I think is making some people to doubt the project.
What's that, Mark?
No, because I would think that at this time more people would be using this. I'm wondering if taking no fees is maybe not causing people to just have doubts.
Wondering if what?
No, I mean, seeing how some projects decide to do the same thing, take 20% fees or whatever.
Oh, you're wondering if providing it free is make people wondering if it's too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite possible, but part of the issue is I've been around Solana ecosystem, and George has too. George, you've seen protocols that theoretically offer similar ideas before, right?
Yeah. There was one recently that dropped that entered the hackathon that was literally just a staking dApp, but I sent it to you, and they charged 20%.
Yeah, we talked about that. So the issue is, and you may be right that people think that 0% on Solana is probably too good to be true, but it's not. People, you're probably right. People might assume that there's got to be some catch. But I think part of it is that you are who you are, and part of what is a required piece of this, the trust on Solana, is having someone with your reputation be the central force of it. Obviously, we're all about decentralization in crypto, but having a centralized point of contact, a centralized dApp, a centralized dashboard, if you will, to make this happen, that average people can use it without any coding experience. I think that's a key part of the process of making it actually happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
because there are other entities that have tried this, and they haven't been as egregious as a 20% fee. I've seen other people try this, but the main issue is trust is hard to come by on the Solana blockchain. There's no doubt about that. And if you're some random dev with 450 followers or whatever on X that nobody's ever heard of, they're not gonna give it a shot. What I can say is I've been using the platform since you deployed it. I've had no issues. The fact that you put out an X tweet the other day, X post, and it got 100,000 views, and every cryptocurrency publication put a news story out about it. I'm pretty sure that when you're saying that the limit, what the platform offers is what it is, and people should be able to trust that. So yeah, it is zero. I don't think that's necessarily it, as so much as a lot of people that would automatically gravitate towards a holder mindset have kind of been drummed out of Solana recently, over the last 12 months, over things that have been happening. Because honestly, bringing back a narrative of everyone as the dev and bringing back a DApp that lets holders actually win is not the standard on Solana. So it's going to take. I think the hurdle is that most people they usually, when they've seen something like this, it's turned out to be too good to be true. So that's probably part of it. So I think we just got to keep going in educating people. I think having these streams weekly on Fridays or Saturday, very early in Japan, your time, is a huge way to do it. And I think someone's going to come through and be the first test. I think that's what someone's going to come through, have a very strong meme with a strong community, and they're going to open a staking pool, and it's going to work. And then after that,
I don't think it's just going to be memes. Sorry to cut you off, but I think like what we are drumming home with the staking pool is project's validity, and a lot of projects now are kind of shifting towards AI projects or something that the team is actually building, and this would then give them the option, instead of locking tokens on Streamflow, to stake them in the pool while gaining what I mean, holders that have incentive to hold their project. It's kind of like stocks paying dividends for
it's
holders.
Very similar to dividends. Yep.
I think there's going to be a shift, not only in the type of projects on Pump Fund overall, but also a shift in culture to where it's not going to be, obviously there's always going to be day traders, but there's going to be people that buy and hold projects, and for them this is the best option, and it honestly helps the project build its floor, and it keeps its holders incentivized. So it's a win-win situation, I think. And
I think
start to see that soon.
Sorry, George, I mean to cut you off. I think you're right. I think you see that too with what they're doing with the Pump Build and Public Hackathon. They're talking about initial pump offerings, sort of like instead of IDOs, like the way people offer their company token asset on Pump. I think that is happening, and there's people building legitimate things on Pump.fun, and I think that's the real beauty of what Mark's put together here, is that it is useful for that. If you want to get a group of people, investors, to invest in your token and put their money where their mouth is, this is a great utility to set it up and say, hey, put your tokens in here, and then you guys can get back part of the fees. Like I said, and you can set that up however you want. You can set it up to be 25% fees, 50% fees, all the way up to 100%. Whatever fee you want to give out to people that are holding, or even use, like you said, the way Streamflow works, it would be to lock up your own token supply as a dev, and then you would receive fees off of that to pay for development costs. So if you had locked up 10 or 20% or whatever, and you put it in the staking pool, then you'll receive a proportional part of those trading fees back to use for the DevOps, to pay for development utilities and expenses. It's really as versatile as anyone wants it to be. And I think you're right about that, George. I think it is more than just memes. I think memes will always have a place. And this is also great for that, just making a meme community. But I think you're right. I think Pump's trying to turn a quarter into bringing more legitimate, actual quote-unquote businesses and builders into the space. And the Chief Pussy's staking DApp is perfect for that as well. Go ahead, George.
Oh no, I had the same point, just that the validity of projects now is going to be a bigger thing. And I think using this tool will then hit that home for everyone, honestly. And like I said, it's a win-win. You don't have to go on Streamflow and pay to lock up your tokens, which is honestly insane. They're paying you to lock tokens, so
Well, that is the standard MO in Solana, isn't it?
yeah. But I mean, like I said, better option: stake for free, give a portion of your rewards to your holders, and even if you like don't give a massive percent, like you're talking a project like Fartcoin or something that went to billion market cap that trades 23, 24 million volume a day. That's a lot to your holders, even at a small percent. So it's just something to think about in the future.
Yep, these tokens that go to massive valuations, 2 to 5% would be a lot. It would be a lot. It really would. You can see you goes low as one. Like, what's the minimum amount you can set, Mark? 1%?
For which, sorry?
For the staking pool, when you set it up, what's the minimum percent you can set? I always say 1%, but is that the minimum percent?
No, it's 0.01%.
0.01. So yeah, okay. All right. So there you go. Like if you're on, you don't want to give away a full percent, you can give away fractions of a percent. So really, that's the true greatness of the utility is it's flexible for what anyone wants to do. So long as you are receiving fees on Pump.Fun and are an SPL 2022 token, you can set it up before migration, after migration, and fund the pool with your fees from Pump.Fun and use that as a augment to whatever you're building on Solana, and it costs you nothing. There's zero fees. It costs you nothing to do that, which I find maybe Mark's right. Maybe part of the penetration is that it's too good to be true. I can't believe it's free. But see, it's not free, and I'll ask you if any final topics, George or Mark. But it's not free because they're gonna have to say "Chief Pussy," and I think for some people that might be a cost they don't want to pay, and that's okay. That's fine, but eventually they're going to have to because eventually someone's going to come through here and it's going to be very successful, and that's the payment. The payment to Mark and everyone that's holding Chief Pussy right now is that you're going to have to say, hey, I'm giving away fees from my token when you go to labs.chiefpussy.com and go get in the staking pool. And I really, like I said the last space we were in, and I like how you had that phrase, everyone is the dev. First we got all these phrases that we're starting to accumulate and pick up about the token and everything. Everyone is the dev on 100% fee token. I like that a lot. The one I've been pushing right now is they're going to have to say it. Like major players in the Solana ecosystem. George is giving away out. They can call it Taban the cat, which you can see there is the actual name of the token. The ticker, the cash tag is Chief Pussy. But they're going to have to say it. They're going to have to say it. Totally already gave you a repost about asking about the Seeker DApp. Eventually in the near future, we're going to have a Seeker DApp for the Chief Pussy utility ecosystem. I'd have to imagine there'd be more integration there. It's just a matter of time. It's all backloaded. They're going to have to say it, and it's going to be really funny. It's going to be really funny when they do. All right, so hey, you don't have any surprise announcements this time, do you, Mark?
Not today.
Oh, you're not gonna. Last time you made me sweat, bro. You had me sweating. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna put a proposal through to Bitcoin Core live on the video. I'm like, okay. All right, George, anything you want to talk about before we close this thing out?
No, I think we kind of hammered it home. We talked about the incinerator, which is the new tool. Mark also put up a page of the all the pools that are staking on Chief Pussy Labs, and those are the two new features for this week. And hopefully, we'll see everyone next week for new updates.
Awesome, I agree with you. I like doing this. I appreciate you being here, George. I like talking with you, man. Like I said, I couldn't have picked a better dev on the Solana side to make this thing happen. Couldn't have picked a better person with Mark to pick this up and run with it. I just feel fortunate to be here. So thank you for coming out today, man. and I like doing these updates myself. Mark, anything that you want to talk about?
For today, I think we are good. I'm going to be fixing things, so come back to vp.net. In a few hours, it will be working.
Awesome. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's all.
Awesome. Mark, I wanted to say thank you so much for doing this as always. I like doing these Friday updates. I know it's really actually 3:30 in the morning Saturday for you, so we appreciate you doing that as well. I encourage everyone to go to launch your meme or your project on pump.fun. Do that. Make that your step one, because there's really nowhere better to launch a token in all of the crypto space than on pump.fun. Just the reality of it. Check out the new streaming features they've got with the enhanced layout for the live streams. It looks really nice. We talked about that. And then after you've launched your token, go to labs.chiefpussy.com. You can see the URL there at the bottom of the screen. Enter your CA and set up a staking token pool. The Solana rewards for that staking pool doesn't have to come out of your pocket. It comes as a portion of a percent from the fees that you generate pre-migration and from your Pump Swap LP. So long as you're receiving fees and you are SPL 2022 token, you can set up between 0.01% and up to 100% of your fees to a staking pool on Chief Pussy Labs. You set up your time, your weight, your unstake period, all that stuff, your minimum stake, and then holders that believe in your project and what you're building can receive fees for staking and holding in the pool at chiefpussylabs.com. I think that pretty much covers it, unless we've got anything else. Mark, I appreciate you. George, I appreciate you. All the people watching in the comments and supporting in the X community and talking about Chief Pussy each and every day. We appreciate you making memes, all that stuff. This was a pretty good update, and we'll see you guys for the next one.
Yeah, thank you for joining, and have a nice day.
You as well. Thank you, everybody.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thank you.